What is something you wish people should be more considerate of? Please subscribe, like and leave a comment. Much love to you all. Silence. I was at the beach this morning, and it was super relaxing a few hours before it gets crowded. Still having that fresh foggy marine layer, but warm enough to wear shorts. Then some idiot starts blaring his stereo right behind me. Bitch, no one wants to hear that at 8 AM. At the summit of a mountain hike today, maybe 30 people there. Guy starts blaring music on speakers. Someone walks up and asks if he could turn it off. Guy seems confused and offended. It was explained to him that people probably want to enjoy the piece. Guy says, I'm pretty sure most people like the music. I should have backed up the person complaining, but thankfully the guy turned it off. It grinds my gears that some people think they own a space and everyone else likes what they like. Headphones. Why don't people use headphones? Headphones are triple awesome. I get to listen to my music. Other people don't have to listen to my music, and I don't have to listen to other people. And if you have somewhat decent headphones, it's way more immersive than a stereo anyway. People who have illnesses that aren't immediately visible. I have cardiac patients who get flack for parking in handicapped spots. They have a tag, but don't have anything visibly wrong with them. If only people knew their heart was only pumping at 15% capacity. I have 60% hearing loss in both of my ears and severe tinnitus. 99% of people act devastatingly offended when I ask them to speak up. It's only after I tell them I have hearing loss that they change their tune and do a complete 180. It's annoying. More annoying than the tinnitus. Sorry to offend you by asking you to speak a little louder. Imagine how I feel. I haven't heard silence in more than 10 years. Being careful how you ask a couple why they don't have babies yet, or when they'll have kids. Edit. My wording should have begun with be considerate with the idea of asking a couple. Because I agree, it mostly just shouldn't be asked. In my opinion, only with the closest of friends who you confide in about these private intimate details of your life. People who can be there for you during hard times, that is miscarriage, infertility, etc. I can't believe how many Uber drivers, many female, I have had asking me when my wife and I are having kids. Why haven't I yet? When you do have kids, yada yada yada. How many do you want? Seriously, how do you know we didn't just find out we can't? Or many other painful scenarios a couple could be going through related to having kids. Or that I'm perfectly happy with my dogs. Yup. I remember I would jokingly ask my married distant relative when he was going to have kids what the baby was going to look like, etc. I saw him on a daily basis at one point, and I would ask him every day. Saw him rarely, and I didn't have much to talk about, honestly, and each day, he would get more and more irritated, but I hadn't noticed. Well, one day, after I joked about it, he finally said, dude, can you seriously stop asking? Enough is enough. I just awkwardly laughed, and that was that. Well, I unintentionally found out a bit later from my mom, who found out from his mom. His mom and my mom are best friends, and obviously blabbermouths, that the guy was trying to get his wife pregnant, but couldn't. I forgot the reason. It was either that the egg wasn't fertilizing, or that the wife was having miscarriages. I finally realized that I had basically been reminding him about his failed attempts on a daily basis, and felt awful about it. Didn't apologize because I didn't want him to know that I knew, but I'm definitely much more cautious now and almost never ask about pregnancy or expecting kids. Jesus fuck, respect the bathrooms at work. Pick up the shit covered toilet paper that breaks off in your ass and falls on the floor. Use seat covers if you think you need one. Don't just pile up TP on the seat thinking it's better. Stop pissing on the floor. Noise pollution in public. I don't need to hear your music. Absolutely. I just got back from my first visit to Japan and was astounded by just how quiet it was in public. A full subway card was as quiet as a library. Even busy city street intersections were quiet. Lovely place, and I wish that sort of respect for others was more global. So no one was wearing headphones and rapping out loud in public. In the 3 weeks I was in Japan, riding a fair bit of public transportation at various hours of the day. No, I did not see this. People who bring a big ass speaker with them on the subway. Like, why? I don't want to hear your shitty 90s R&B. It's always some really shit song though. I remember a guy on the train blasting that terrible Watch Me Whip Nanny song. At least play good rap. Their surroundings. Some people are just completely unaware and seem to think the world revolves around them. Yes. The other day, I was walking down the sidewalk. I was in a really touristy part of the city I live in, and there was a group of 10 plus women taking up the entire sidewalk, standing and having a conversation. No one could get through. I said excuse me a few times, and was totally ignored. So, I shrugged my shoulders and just pushed my way through. One of the women gasped and started immediately ranting about how rude and awful I was. And I'm standing there like, dude, you're blocking the busiest sidewalk in the busiest part of one of the busiest cities in America. Fuck off with your bullshit. This drives me crazy. When people with giant backpacks or oversized purses turn in the middle of a crowded street or subway car whack you in the face because they have no spatial awareness and then have the audacity to give a mean look when you say something. People need to be aware of themselves in public spaces. Personal space. I hate people that come too near to speak with you, and usually their breath stinks. Got my lips bit on the other day from a dude standing not a foot away. People are nasty. I got spit in my mouth before cause some motherfucker talked over me. If you're standing behind me in line, don't stand so close to me. I can feel your breath. Why the fuck do people do that? Once I was in line and a guy literally leaned into my back to whisper in my fucking ear that he knew the cashier and she was moody, whatever the fuck that means. I literally felt his breath in my ear canal. That sometimes someone might be going through something serious / devastating and are not assholes because they don't want to talk or need to be alone, or they just don't want to talk. Nothing personal, but I like keeping work life separate from my personal life. And yes, I know you're bored at work. Too bad, not my job to entertain you. Not drinking. The responses I get at parties when I say I don't drink after being offered alcohol are ridiculous. I wish I could just drink my iced tea in peace without having to explain why I don't drink, have to defend it, or be straight up insulted. I have hearing aids, and I like to watch movies at home with CC on because I can read as I watch. People that will turn CC off, even after I set it to small so as to not interfere. Also a bunch of movies I would love to watch in theater I can't, because I miss the small jokes. I have to wait for release, so I can watch with CC. Touching a pregnant woman's belly without their permission. And touching babies without permission. I didn't realize how big of an issue it was until my cousin told me about how she would constantly have people come up and just start touching her baby. Even had a couple pick her up. That is not okay. The fact that sometimes people just don't have the social energy to handle some situations. It's not that we don't want to be around you or go to that event with you. It's just that sometimes it's a bit exhausting. My mother still does not understand this fact, and going home has become very stress-inducing because of it. She's always wanting me to do things and guilting me if I don't want to. I just can't keep up sometimes. Service dogs. I just want to go to the store one time and not have to talk about him at all. Was gonna say this. Also, fuck people claiming that their yipping chihuahua in the Walmart cart is a service dog. It's not the customer service rep's fault. I've responded to apologies with no problem. You're not in charge of logistics for the entire chain. That, or I know it's not your fault. I'm just frustrated. Introverts needing to charge alone after tiring social week. My mom still took offense if I don't go out with her because I need to recharge. Needing recharge time is so real. I work a customer facing job and it is incredibly draining for me. Most of my weekends are spent alone doing things I want to do to get my headspace clear again, and I get a lot of shit from other people about being antisocial. Just because it's a public bathroom doesn't mean it's okay to piss all over the toilet seat and leave it like that for the next person. Emergency vehicles. Honestly, I can't figure out why people don't just move the fuck over. You're literally putting someone's life at risk if you don't. The homeless. I was close to sleeping outside. I got out of jail and had nowhere to go. I was smoking wax a month before, so the homeless shelter turned me away, only one in my area. Went to her saying I was suicidal. I wasn't. Then told them I was using fourth drugs. I wasn't. And got instantly placed into a nice rehab and community home after. Oh, the places you'll go. Smacking on food around other people. My fiancé's sister. Future sister-in-law. Woo. I cringe anytime I'm eating near her. I mean, it's bad. I wanna tell her something so bad. But I know if I did, I feel like I'd be looked at as the asshole. My dad is super bad about smacking on food as well, and he just doesn't give a fuck. I've called him out on it a few times. I just don't understand people smacking on food. How hard is it to close your mouth when you chew food? Apparently very hard. It drives me nuts. I cannot stand hearing someone chew food or slap on a drink.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.